I started that book.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربي أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Okay, we studied last week verse 12 and 13 of chapter Layl, the night. Now the 14. So, فَأَنذَرْتُكُمْ نَارًا تَلَظَّى, I warn you of the blazing fire. I'm sure you know, or you by now, you should know what is the blazing fire. Who will remind us? Verbalize it. Blazing fire. I warn you of the blazing fire.
It's the frustration or the difficulty one experiences in their own emotions or within themselves.
I couldn't get the last phrase.
Within, like the frustration and the difficulty one experiences within their own emotions, within their own selves.
In this world.
Living in this world.
Yeah. As a result of
going against.
Complete that and then.
As a result of going against your human nature, or your own.
Yeah. Which is directed from your nature as well as from the guidance from your creator. So if you contradict, of course, you will be squeezed. Yeah, and then you will feel the fire emotionally within yourself, although apparently you may pretend to be happy, smiling, but inside knows that something is going wrong. I think we have to listen.
I was going to say, believing in annihilation after death of the body.
After?
Bodily death.
Living in other. So living, feeling.
Feeling.
What did you say?
I said believing in annihilation after
death. After death.
After death.
How about your past?
Death.
What do you think of your past? Yesterday you enjoyed yourself. What happened?
Meaning. No meaning.
Well, again, no annihilation. Went into annihilation.
Yes.
Yeah. Meaningless. How about the future?
Meaningless. Annihilated.
Again, you are not sure.
I am sure.
No, not you are. About the future. The one, if he believes that, or if he doesn't believe in that he or she belongs to an absolute being, which kind of life this person has to live in? First, definitely, after I die, I will fall into annihilation. But I'm summarizing what you said. And this is first. The second, this person will feel that his past went into annihilation. He's not proud of it because I enjoyed myself for so many years. Let's say, for example, I was young. Where is it? Gone. Right? I said, once I was a young man. So what? Where is it? Gone. Yeah. And for the future, I'm not sure what will happen. Sure, I am living at this moment, and it is also very slippery. Correct or not? Agree? No. Why? So you said, you looked puzzled. Why?
I guess it was a little distraction. I was distracted.
So you couldn't follow? Okay, who's going to summarize that?
Well, I had a question. Why did you use the word slippery?
Because it is always going. You cannot keep it.
Yeah, but that's always going to be the circumstances, even if you are feeling secure in your existence or
But your existence, because you are not going to lose your existence if you realize that you belong to an absolute being who is eternal, and his eternity guarantees your existence. His eternal existence guarantees your existence. If someone doesn't attribute his existence to the eternal being, what does he feel? Whatever he pretends to be, don't be misled with this. Really, inside, it's impossible. It is impossible to forget that life is going into annihilation, and definitely past also went into annihilation. I cannot be proud of anything. I cannot enjoy myself now, saying that or claiming that, it's certain that I enjoyed myself yesterday. So what? Gone, destroyed. As if I am saying I had the best car last year. Where is it? It's gone, destroyed. For a person who does not attribute his existence or attach his existence to the eternal being. So whatever he says, speaks, once I had a best car, or whatever you say, you enjoy whatever the people say, I don't know. Really, we enjoyed, we had a party last year. It was excellent. Yesterday, it was perfect. We enjoyed ourselves, entertained ourselves. But he knows, everybody knows that it is gone and we cannot retrieve it. We cannot get it back. It's obvious. So being proud of my yesterday does not give me any satisfaction at all. So I know that even if I am enjoying myself today, tomorrow it will be a yesterday and it will gone. How do you think this person can enjoy himself? Really, he will be suffocated, strangled? Strangled between past and future, and especially after death, finish. Well, no one can say that even after I die, I enjoyed my 10 years in the world. Doesn't mean anything. That's why blazing fire, as the Quran describes fire, captures or encapsulates the heart. Right, everywhere. It means heart is what? The representative of human feelings. All of human feelings will be burning emotionally. while in this world. But they pretend to forget it. They pretend to ignore it, the people or us. But when we a little bit are conscious of our existence, our being now, we say, what are we doing? The Quran describes it as a beautiful way. A flame enwraps the heart and goes up. What do you say? I don't know.
Fire.
Like it, the flame, the fire. So this will be the it is very important, mother of the man. You know, it is Waylul lil-mutaffifin. Waylul lil-mutaffifin. No, Waylul likulli humazatin lumazatin. الذي تطلع على النار الذي تطلع الأفئدة عليها مؤصدة is the pillar, you know, swallowing it up. Is what the fire is taking it up. That's how the fire is described. But we don't study the Quran for the hereafter. You know, but that if I feel it here, definitely my end will be like this. But we study the Quran here and now, here. So we can see that. For the unbelievers, there is no rest at all. For the believers, the pitfall is, I believe in Allah, so I'm not subject to the fire. In the hereafter, God will reward me. So they do feel the blazing fire. Yeah, because they think they are saved. All right, if they are believers, or as much as they are believers, they are saved. But still, they may have some sort of concerns. The believers may concern, saying that I am not a good believer. If he's a Muslim, I'm not a good Muslim. I'm not a good Christian. Although everybody has lots of mistakes and shortcomings and deficiencies. No one is perfect. Because of his deficiencies, he thinks that he may be subject to some sort of torture and payment. Punishment. But what we have to do here to develop the consciousness, awareness, that our existence belongs to everyone who exists, whoever exists, and who is the absolute one, who is the creator of the universe, or he is not subject to time and cannot be subject to time and space. That is what I belong to. Now, in my treatment with him, first, however, I am a worse person. Worse. You know, I don't pray, I don't fast, I don't observe religious requirements. I ate not halal. Let's say, if a person is a believer, he would say, okay, my existence is secured, right? But I am not in good terms with my creator. This person has always a hope that, you know, God may forgive me, God may treat me in the best way, because his existence is secured. So he may find a way, to ameliorate or ameliorate, what is that? Better.
Ameliorate
His case. Because he has a hope that he's going to be with his Creator. He's always with his Creator, and his past is in his Creator. His future is in the hand of the Creator. He is always with his Creator. No problem. He feels secure. But his treatment with the Creator is not in good terms, but his belief in God saves him. We have to be careful. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't really observe religious requirements. No, but we are talking about the psychological situation of any person who's a believer, who's not a believer. Now, the believer is, or conscious believer, of course. Not that I believe in God and he doesn't know what it means. No. Developed, worked on it. He's a believer. He's aware that definitely his existence belongs to the eternal being. Now, his existence is secured. What is left to make his relationship with the Creator better? Right? Let's understand what am I expected to do? How am I expected to deal with my life? That is secondary, if not third. If not, how do you say third?
Tertiary.
Tertiary?
Tertiary.
Tertiary. Oh, I cannot say it so. Tertiary?
Tertiary.
No, tertiary.
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 A strong T, like tertiary.
No, tertiary.
Exactly. Wow.
Tertiary. Okay. It's not tertiary. Unfortunately, what happened? Among the believers, believing community, rather than emphasizing on the importance of belief and strengthening the belief, providing more and more evidence for their belief, they take the belief in as granted, don't work on it, so their belief in God is external to them. I keep mentioning this subject, external. It means universe is a creator, I believe, definitely. Everything is created by him, but he doesn't feel the presence of his Creator in his life, in his existence. That's a great difference. Yes, to accept the fact that the universe is created by God is a necessary step, but it doesn't give any confidence in one's being. But unfortunately, in the believers' community, this belief in the Creator taken for granted and not strengthened and established, and I would say that brought down into his life right now. Get it? Not brought into his life. As if God is out there, he is here, created by him, okay. Like the machine. Machine, not the consciously says, but in its existence, it says, I have a creator. I have an engineer. The engineer made me, but I have nothing to do with the engineer. I'm working on my own. That is why the heart of that believer is not fully satisfied. What remains, we have to understand the psychological steps. What remains on this man? Rather than improving, perfecting, consolidating his belief in God as God is present in his life right now and his being belongs to him. Forget about praying, fasting. No, at this stage. What he does, he goes into in order to make his future secure, he goes into religious rituals. Religious rituals to understand this process. If I pray more, if I fast, if I keep on eye in every ingredients to make sure that there's no gelatin or something, maybe haram. So he's a very diligent practicing Muslim now. Or in Christendom the same, in Judaism the same. They emphasize on the practice, not really hammering, not really improving, perfecting, strengthening by evidence their relationship with the Creator so that they will feel the presence of the Creator in their personal life. So, if you think God is out there, definitely I believe in it, okay? I am going to good work in order to, as if, soothe the wrath of God on me. Which kind of relationship is it? What kind of relationship? God is angry, ready to smash you down, can do it, and in order to say, no, don't go, I'm going to pray, don't worry, I'm going to pray, I'm going to fast. What kind of pleasure this person can get from his life? It's useless. But I'm not saying we shouldn't pray or anything, but this approach is wrong, ignoring the consolidation of the belief in one's life and switching into some sort of activities, doing some sort of activities that he will have a good relationship with the God up there. But the solution is not there. We have to understand this. Solution is to consolidate, to make sure under the evidence, science, that consciousness, developed consciousness, improved, educated, trained consciousness that God is in my being. In my being means really, I can see the Creator in everywhere because they cannot exist by themselves. We know that. I cannot exist by that. I cannot breathe now by myself. But I'm giving the ability by this God. So in his presence sees the presence of his Creator. Can you think that this man will go against the will of Creator? His Creator? Yeah. Do you think? An answer.
I don't think so.
That is why we always start from the end, not from the beginning. It is easier to believe in God. Yes, it is necessary, but it is easier to believe in God. But bring him down in one's existence is the most important training that we should do. So that I will feel comfortable. Look, for example, even I fight with my father, but I know that I'm a child. In the example, I know that he's my father. He's not going to put me in the street. Right? If I develop the relationship with my father, work together, it is another way of establishing the relationship, warm relationship with your parents, work together, do the things together, feel that your father is next to you. Can you do anything against his will? He's next to you. Yeah? But can you do anything which will make him feel somehow unhappy with your presence as a child? You can't. But if you think that my father is at home or at work, I am here in Manhattan, in this, I can do everything, he doesn't know. But even by saying that God knows everything, but he's not present in you now, you don't feel it. When you don't feel it, you can do everything. And then keep complaining that I am not a good child because I know my father doesn't want me to drink, but I drink. Understand? I know my father doesn't want me to smoke. When I'm with friends, I smoke. But if the father was next to him, would he smoke? Would he smoke?
No.
The answer is obvious. So we start from I mean all the people who say we believe in God, not necessarily Muslims, including the Muslims, Christians, Jews. We start from the wrong side. Try to make the people a good Christian, good Jew, good Muslim. The whole approach in the society, in the communities, is wrong. That's why people are not satisfied, not satisfied. They easily fall into mistakes. Isn't that easy when you are, let's say, 16 years old high school? That's the age, of 16 years old high school, boy or girl, together with their friends and enjoying themselves in the house. And they say, come on, take a puff or what? Something, yeah? From the marijuana? Yeah. Oh, they love it. How does it smell? How do you feel? Let me try. Although he doesn't believe that his father exists, his father doesn't want him to do. How can you solve the problem? By saying that he is going to punish you when you go home. He will feel the smell after you leave the friendship party. So he will smell and he will beat you up. But at that moment, you don't feel it. You say, okay, I'm sorry, what shall I do? Shall I wash my mouth or brush my teeth and get some sort of perfume or something to solve the problem artificially? It doesn't solve any problem. Unfortunately, we have to, people may be aware, maybe not aware, but we feel no sign of this kind of approach, mainly prevailing in the believing communities, Christians, Jews, Muslims, especially believing in God, Hindus. They go on the action side of it. They keep saying that, look, you shouldn't smoke. Didn't I tell you that you shouldn't do drugs? Your father doesn't want it. Your father will get angry with you. But it is so pleasant, Your father will get angry with me later on, but it is pleasant now with my friends. Because he doesn't feel confident that his father is next to him. Or, more realistically, within him, within his existence. We call it belief training. That's why we don't read any verse of the Quran mentions about the hereafter in terms of, we don't study it in terms of hereafter. We study it in terms of here, in this world. Why? I have to feel God now so that my job will be very easy. My father is next to me. I am with my friends. My friends say, come on, get a smoke or take a cigarette or something to drink. No, no, I don't smoke. It's easy. It becomes easy. Okay.
So what about the scenario where you mentioned earlier that if you're not in good terms, let's say using the analogy, you're not in good terms with your father, but you kind of feel secure as far as your existence is concerned, that he's not going to kick you out in the street. So I think that could be easily misused, that form of relationship or that sense of understanding, that I can say, even if my father's with me and someone offers me a cigarette, because I feel secure that he's not going to kick me out of the street, I can still
It's
smoke.
against human nature. No, be careful, be careful. Now, if you feel that your father is with you and he's your father, your life and everything belongs to him. He provides food, he provides shelter, he provides your pocket money and pays your fees, etc., and loves you because you are his son. You feel that by taking care of your life, if you liken this example to God, by taking care of your existence, you owe everything to him. So this relationship, but as long as he is with you, this relationship, any human being, if this relationship happens or exists, occurs in one's life, any human being will find it very difficult to go against his will. It will be very easy to prostrate before him. It will be very easy to bow before him. If he says, for example, as an example of fasting, if he says, don't eat now, an hour later you will eat it. You say, okay, if you want. This will be very easy because you know that he's taking care of everything right now in your life. But Creator God up there, I am taking care of my life here. It's not effective. It cannot be effective. There's a distance. So feel it, feel it. I can challenge everyone. Whatever the life you do, if you make mistakes, right? I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's quite normal. When you know that your father doesn't like it, when your father with you, can you do it as easily? Because saying this is my father will forgive.
Well, I think this gets into the notion of defining how people can manipulate such kind of relationships and turn those into habits. And what I mean by that is, let's say I will 100% agree that it's not easy to then pick up a cigarette next to your father and smoke it.
If you know that he really disapproves.
Disapproves, and both, even like, since we're not talking about fear as the first consideration, we're talking about love and so on and so forth. I would be really disappointed in myself to pick up that cigarette. But in the event of making that mistake, which we're defining as mistake, and I feel that I can quote unquote get away with it, because clearly I'm also keeping, amongst those many variables, that my father's not going to like this and so on and so forth. I'm also keeping the variable in mind that my father's not going to kick me out in the street.
But he doesn't. If you understand that your father takes care of everything and loves you, it means you feel that as a human being you are grateful to him. You will feel grateful to him.
I agree.
Definitely. I mean, no way that I know that he is giving me this. He is providing everything to me, and my being belongs to him, and I am always with him. He's always with me. He's here in my bed, in my existence. I can see his action. He's operating on me right now. So whatever I believe, because of his creatorship, I am enjoying something because of his creatorship. Everything. And then this definitely results in being grateful. When you are grateful, definitely, but gratefulness doesn't occur by itself. It occurs alongside with your awareness of your consciousness of your creator in your present life right now. In everything. Everything. You are seeing because of him. You are hearing because of him. You are tasting because of him. Everything. And the whole universe is brought into your usage. And everything is serving you. Gratefulness does not allow you to behave in such a way that in his presence I will do it because he will forgive me. No, it is the classical defense of the people who emphasize on the action rather than on belief, so that when I threaten you, if you do this, when you go home, your father will beat you up. So that this fear will prevent you from doing this one. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Respect works. Respect. Establish the awareness of God, respect of God. Why? You can respect as much as you receive from him. Do you understand? But it means we receive everything from him in reality, but how much we are aware of it. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Lovely.
So the question is that there is a certain kind of emotional emptiness that sometimes
Emotional?
emptiness.
Yeah.
Yes, that sometimes I feel, even though I clearly see the signs, I clearly acknowledge that, the blessings I see, like everything that's being said in the Quran, I see it clearly. Like, as with all believers.
Everything in the Quran?
Well, not mostly.
I don't think so.
I'm not going to go there, but I'm talking about the basic signs.
All right.
My question to you is, what is the way of strengthening the emotional connection and building it up within yourself with God, so as not to, so that you are always aware that He is near you, within you, as you were saying.
Yeah, I like the word you used, emptiness. Yeah, that is reality. First of all, I thought you were going to claim that you believe in everything what the Quran says. It is totally lie. It is impossible. So we have to work and study step by step with a good intention. But one can say, we'll come back to emptiness. One can say, look, I have a good intention about the Quran, and the Christian may say, I have a good intention about the Bible, all right? But it doesn't mean that he has studied every single message in it and felt completely satisfied with the message. Impossible. Well, it has stages, but the Muslims love to claim that I believe everything in the Quran, what it says. Have you read the Quran? No. But I read some of them in English translation. Something like it is a tragedy. It is a tragedy. What does it mean? We have to educate in belief matters, but it takes stages. It doesn't happen at once. If you come once or twice to this class, you will never get anything really if it is not consistently continuing. But years. Can you be a doctor without studying 20 years? Can you be a physician without studying 24 years? Yeah, to become a physician, it needs 24 years of study. But it doesn't mean that in 24 years, you have to wait until you get the satisfaction. No, it doesn't mean that you have to work, in the Quranic terms, 23 years, right? Because the Quran was completed in 23 years. It means once, if you really keep in touch with the Quranic training, not reading the translation or learning Arabic, is nothing. Nothing. So really understanding the concepts of the Quran, it takes 23 years. So I think you come from an Arabic-speaking background. Am I right? No? Okay, good. Because those people whose mother tongue is Arabic has nothing to do with Quran, and they have, if they have not studied, they have no conceptual comprehension of the teachings of the Quran. They think they understand that. This is the worst scenario. Because they think they understand the Quran. They say they don't need to study. But if someone's mother tongue is not Arabic, it's a good thing. So you can study not the Arabic, but the concepts of the Quran. So the concepts of the Quran is not easy to understand. It takes time. 23 years, the Quran completed its revelation to human being. So it doesn't mean that I have to wait in order to have belief in God for 23 years. No, it is in progress, ever continuing progress. For example, if a person starts the primary school, yeah, it is a beginning. And then middle school, or elementary school, middle school, whatever, high school and college, and then medical studies. All of them takes them step by step into medical sciences. He or she develops gradually his confidence in understanding what is going on in the body of a human being. It's a profession, yeah? But although the materialist medicine studies the body of a human being as a machine, that is another subject. But even mechanically, how the body works, they develop it. But at the end, 20 years later, they get the degree and said, I am a full-fledged doctor now. But before it went through certain stages, we have to do the same thing. Emptiness, that's important, comes from the lack of confidence in one's belief. Now, it doesn't mean that this person who lacks the confidence in one's belief, it doesn't mean that he doesn't believe. Because this person definitely believes. Definitely God exists, but it means nothing. Definitely God exists means nothing. But nothing means in the development. You say, yeah, I believe definitely that medical studies exists. If I take it, I will be a doctor. But believing in the existence of the medical study doesn't make you a doctor. But if someone doesn't believe in the medical studies, he cannot start. He will never be able to become a doctor. So it isn't just a gap, or not a gap, sorry. It's the gate into getting in touch with God, that this universe must have a creator. Okay, now, I am created by him. Okay, let me see his creatorship in my existence and the existence of everything. For example, everybody may say that, yeah, all the birds and planets, the stars are created by God. All human beings are created by God. How about your wishes? How about your emotions? How about your feeling? So how about your every single cell in your body? Every single memory comes to your mind. Every single imagination comes to your power of imagination. Every single questioning and trying to get answer to it is created by him. So if you want to get out of, if anybody wants to get out of this emptiness, there is only one way. Question everything. Question everything. Why am I concerned with this? Why the people are saying this? What I have to do? Question. You will be crazy of questioning everything. And the people will get worried about you, saying that, oh, wow, child is, especially the parents. He's not settled down. He keeps asking questions. He's crazy about it. But there is no answer from your parents. That's why they think that don't ask questions, don't pray. Submit yourself to God when Ramadan comes past. Oh, come on, it's ridiculous. Oh, really, it's ridiculous. We have to build the confidence in every sense that I feel obliged to be grateful to my Creator at every moment for everything. But it takes time. What is important? For example, those people who are eager keeps quoting a verse from the Quran. What they say, we have to do dawah. You know the word dawah? It calls people to Islam. Yeah. Do you understand this? Have you heard of it? No. Okay, we have to command the good and prevent people from doing, how do you say, command the good and amrun bil ma'ruf nahyun 'anil munkar. Prohibit, not the prohibit. Prevent. Forbid the bad. Okay, why? Because God says we have to do it. It is our duty. We ummah, the community, Muslim community, are given this duty. Okay, what does God say? Be careful with the wordings. We have to study this verse maybe for an hour. وَادْعُ إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ and بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ حَسَنَةٍ كَرِيزٌ. But be careful. وَادْعُ, it means call people to, yeah. If you go to the Eastern world or the Middle Eastern world, they will say, call them to Islam, right? But the Quran says, no. Call people to the path of your Lord. It means path, not the end, path. It means register your child to the school. And then he will go the first year, first class, second year, third year, you understand? Path. Put them into path. But what is extremely important, path which leads to the end, which is, at the end is God. You don't reach God at once. You have to be on the path. Educate yourself. But what is important here, Rabbuk. It means your Lord. It means you can call people to the path of someone about whom, how much you are aware of it. Your Lord. Can I call someone to the path of Lord, which I am not aware of him, or I am 1% aware of him? I call people only to the path of the Lord that I am aware 1% of him. I cannot go beyond my capacity. So if someone doesn't want to, someone wants to call people to the path of Lord, he has to develop his understanding of law so that I can call you as much as I am aware of my Lord. Can you teach somebody mathematics more than you know? Can you teach anything to anybody more than you know? Yeah, people ignore that I have to get to know my Lord. And then as much as I am feeling confident in his presence in my life, I can present it as much as that much. Yeah. That's why the language of the Quran is so fine. Ud'u ila sabili rabbik. Call, in bracket, people, others, maybe yourself as well, to the path of your knowledge. You can teach as much as you know. It's very simple. Huh? Very simple. The rest of the verses, rest of the ayah, verse is even more important. But as far as our subject is concerned now, we have to be on the path to know, to get to know God. Not that I am a medical student, first year medical student, So, okay, I'm a doctor. So go to the emergency room, the ER, and try to make operations on the people. What happens? You kill people. You kill people. That's what our da'is are doing most of the time. In the name of Islam, kill their people. But not all of them, of course, but majority in the community. Without educating yourself, 16 years old or 18 years old boy, learn how to pronounce the Fatiha and becomes youth leader. Huh? Leadership is important. Have you led yourself to the path? No education. Unfortunately, no. Education is based on what? To learn how to pray. What are the rules of fasting? That's education, Islamic education. So ridiculous. Come on. We have to wake up. And then if we are sure that God is present in our existence, we feel definitely grateful to Him. If you are grateful to somebody from yourself, not by force, that mother says, no, you have to obey your father. Not like this. Within yourself, everything becomes so easy to do. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It is the necessary result. How do you say? Corollary of it. Do you know the word corollary? Who doesn't know? If I know it, everybody must know it here. My language is the poorest among you. So, corollary of it, necessary consequence of it. Definitely you will do it. But unfortunately, we are afraid that if somebody says, God is merciful, don't worry about it, there's you are encouraging people to commit sins. To a certain extent, they are right. If you don't introduce God to these people, yeah. But instead of saying that, instead of emphasizing on the importance of actions, first it's emphasize on the importance of belief training, education. So work on the verses of the Quran from the belief perspective. Right? So unfortunately, it is not very common. But people becoming aware of it, especially in the Muslim world, because within the Muslim world, because of this internet, new generation are opening to all sorts of cultures, all sorts of assaults of criticism of Islam, atheism, deism, all sorts of things. And the parents are not qualified to satisfy them because they don't know. They themselves don't know. They just follow their tradition. But the next generation will never follow the tradition of your tradition. Will never follow. You have to prepare yourself so the next generation will come up with lots of questions. You will be ready, qualified to answer the questions. Otherwise, you cannot really cope with and shape the minds of your child. Impossible. The Muslim world in general now is suffering from it. People say Islam is the most growing. What is the most growing? It's a very sloganic word. Sorry? The fastest growing religion. I don't believe. Islam is the fastest growing blood loser in religion. Muslim world, not Islam. Muslim world. A lot of it is becoming fashion in Iran, in Turkey, in Egypt, in Syria, in Jordan, in Lebanon, as far as I know. Not yet in Bangladesh, because Bangladesh people generally don't question. Yeah, in Indonesia, don't question. But in these words, the open to the new mass media, the number of the blogs and groups of the people who identify themselves atheist or deist is increasing. Maybe the fastest increasing deism is taking place in Saudi Arabia. You don't know this. You don't know this. Can you imagine? Because of the heavy pressure, the young generation says, religion cannot be like this, and I have nothing to do with religion. And secretly organizing their network between themselves. Am I proud of it? No. But that is the only way to get out of the burden of cultural religion, so that we have to open up. When we open up, then the new generation will start questioning themselves rather than expecting the answers from their puppet in religion parents. That is the future of Islam. I may not see it, but you will definitely see it if Allah wills or gives you a life. For example, in Iran, it's impossible. It is unimaginable. In Iran, is the fastest growing religion is atheism among youth. Go and speak to people in Tehran. Yeah, the young people. Go and speak to them. I said, I don't believe in religion, but they say, but I believe in God. Theism. Why? Because religion is represented in such a way that does not make sense. In Turkey, it is rapidly growing. What? Theism. Because people cannot deny God, but they are becoming aware of that. If I believe in God, it doesn't necessitate me to be a Muslim. Yeah, believing in God is different from being a Muslim. Muslim means the religion practiced in the community, which doesn't make sense. Theism means this. We have to wake up. Okay.
You often cite as points of reference Sunday school, teachings of skew, and this example of atheism being the fastest growing, and we're losing the youth within.
Yeah, we are.
The more I come to this class and try to learn, the more I feel like your challenge to us is to understand ourselves and our Creator better, to develop that connection.
Yeah.
So how much does it matter that the fastest growing religion in Iran is atheism? Does that matter to my connection to my Creator?
If you are aware of it, it doesn't matter. But this is a red flash. Say that, hey, are you aware that you are the product of cultural religion and it doesn't help you? Never. And your generation will never be saved by the cultural religion. So that you say, now, if it is the case, what am I supposed to do? Then the alternative opens up itself to you. Otherwise, people are very happy. Go to the masjid, the praying places. And the people are very satisfied with it. Allah made us Muslim. Allah doesn't make you Muslim. Allah doesn't make you Muslim. Allah makes you a human being. You have to choose to be a Muslim. Do you understand? But unless these people wake up, I don't think so. This generation, forget about this. But the next generation is coming up with the questions. And the questions definitely will open up their minds. Either look for the truth, or if they cannot find it, they will say, okay, I don't know it. All right? Agnostic. But at this, they wouldn't dare deny it. They will say, these people say something that doesn't make sense, but it doesn't mean that there is no truth. Because questioning mind always starts with what? Why do I exist? How do I exist? What is the meaning of my existence? Only starting with these questions and trying to find the answers, then the vacuum in one's life, everybody has some sort of vacuum, don't worry about it. But it has different degrees, but everybody feels some sort of vacuum in their life. So just become aware that this vacuum must be filled with serious, consistent study of the evidence that the universe brings. And we forget about prayer.
Wow.
Maghrib? We didn't pray Maghrib. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Shall we combine it?
Also, you did say we forgot. I was like,
Yeah, we forgot. So I think time is 8 o'clock. Okay,
Right.
it's not too late, but if we don't, shall we stop here? So first, the vacuum is the result of confidence in one's own being. Yeah. So how can I develop it? Pay attention to it, look at the universe, question the universe, everything. Why do I like this bird? Yeah? Why do I like the daylight? Why do I like night, the moon at night? What is it there? What does it mean for me? See that even at night, in the evening, moonlight comes to you, why don't you question? How come that it is provided for me? For what? It's a night lamp for me, without disturbing, but at the same time, not letting me be in dark, deep darkness. Right? Who is providing? Somebody knows me. I have to be thankful. Go out. Have you ever thought, when you go out at night, for example, after this class, we will go out, see the moon, and say, the one who created, arranged the moon is my Lord. I'm very grateful to him. He thinks of me in the best way, much better than my father, my mother, best way. He feeds me with whatever I need, so that the sense of gratitude starts developing, improving within myself. And then as the sense of gratitude replaces vacuum, the vacuum is diminishing. Is what I mean? But vacuum is diminishing. Yeah.
So this emptiness or the vacuum that we were talking about, how much of the issue is in having a vacuum versus your perception about the vacuum? And what I mean by that, like personally from my experience, there will always be that emptiness, because as long as you have that hunger, you will continue to strive for it, right? And if I...
That's what Sabil Rabbik means, this actually. Udu ila Sabil Rabbik means this. You are on the way. It doesn't mean that you reach the destination, but on the way.
Right.
As you go to the destination, so on the way towards the destination, you are getting closer, closer, closer. Yeah.
Well, are you, I guess, like, as someone's filling your cup, the size of your cup is also increasing. So,
yeah.
Yes, you can acknowledge and you can confirm that you're getting more, but at the same time, you're also in need for more.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So personally, I don't think the issue is with having that emptiness. The issue is what you make of that emptiness.
Yes.
Like like you were saying earlier, some people can choose to deny, right, whatever their reality is.
Yeah, apparently. They cannot do it, really.
Right. And some people can choose to question it further to a point where, and I had a little bit of issue with when you said you can build that confidence. I think people can build confidence in their reality or by contradicting their reality as well, one can mask it easily and choose to just be okay with it. So I don't think that that emptiness is something that is going to be fulfilled.
No,
Yeah.
completely. No one said that we can. Everybody has an emptiness.
Right.
At various degrees. That's obvious. But we have to. We are talking about diminishing.
But you're not. You're not diminishing it because you're increasing it at the same time. It's
But
like
no.
with every bite that I take of an apple, I have now thirst for 2 more bites. Like it's a vicious cycle. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing.
But this, no, it is not. To feel emptiness is better to be aware of.
Right.
It's better than not being aware of it.
Right.
But when you start really becoming aware of the absolute being, it's not an apple, absolute being. Even one mouthful, or sorry, no, one bite from the apple. If you really question it, you feel that, oh, everything is taste and color and satisfaction, although you are not satisfied yet, but you are on the way, makes you closer to the presence of God in your life, so that you become more and more grateful. But this is what? Absolute being. So you are getting closer to the absolute being. But not.
How do you get closer to an absolute being? Like,
In realization.
right.
You are becoming aware of it. Come on, not the distance wise, it's obvious. So you are becoming aware of it because you are feeling that it is acting present in your existence. In the biting of apple also, he's acting. He's presenting to you with his own hand. Who is bringing the taste of the apple to you? Who is bringing the existence of the apple to you? No one can imagine, no one can really believe that apple is provided by chance and you like it by chance, your taste developed by chance. Endless chances never fail at once. Number is chance, always perfect, always perfect, always perfect. It is impossible for a normal human being.
Right.
So if you get closer to the absolute being, eternal being, infinite being, then you feel less and less vacuum in your existence, but you become more and more aware of the details of vacuum. It is different. Details of vacuum. Do you understand?
I'm trying to.
Detail, but now the more you learn mathematics, you become more aware what you don't know about mathematics. That's like this. But it doesn't mean that the more I learn mathematics, I will become more aware of what I don't know about mathematics. It's not the solution that I shouldn't learn mathematics. Because no one can be perfect, and we are not expected to be perfect anyways. We have to understand this. Perfectionism is the most effective enemy of human beings. But we have to go on the way. Start learning A, B, C, D. Start. When you start satisfied. We have to pray and come back quickly. Just we will pray. Okay? This one.
So for those who are watching it on live stream, we'll come back in like 10-15 minutes.
Okay. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, inshallah, we are going to stop at 8:30. So we have 10 minutes. We have to come back to the verse itself. We have mostly talked about the people who are believing and not really very much conscious of what they are believing in. So how much they are affected by the flame, as the Quran says, this blazing fire. Of course, partially. But we have to know that Quran speaks in black and white terms. That is another principle. If one wants to understand the Quran, Quran's verdicts, Quran's speech is always addressing the black and white terms. It means blank believer, or the denier, and perfect believer. When he describes the paradise, this paradise is for perfect believer. When the Quran describes the hell, or it is here, sorry, we missed what?
You went forward.
Blazing fire. When it says blazing fire, is actually, but verbally, the Quran uses unbeliever, but actually, don't be misled by the language of the Quran if you don't really concentrate on it. When the Quran says unbeliever, it doesn't mean the person, but it says unbeliever. It says believing Muslim, believers, says Quran, it says believers. So it's speaking about people, about persons. No. The Quran speaks in the objective, not objective, that objectifies the things. But it doesn't say the unbeliever is John or Martin. Unbeliever means anybody who doesn't have belief. It means unbelief itself. So you can read it. I warn you of the blazing fire means I warn you to know that unbelief is the blazing fire. Blazing fire. Do you understand? Not a person, not a person, not a people. Person. So what the Quran speaks in palpable, objective manner. Objective means not objective, subjective. With the objectified manner. This tribe of Thamud, this Pharaoh and his people speaks like, tribe of Thamud means the people there, but forget about tribe of Thamud. Because the Quran never mentions time, never mentions place. Who are they? I don't know. So because it's not the point. The point is not the people. What they did is described. Pay attention to this. Don't speak about the people. Here, the blazing fire is the result of unbelief, not the unbeliever. So we say that the unbelievers will go to hell. No, unbelief will go into the blazing fire. So how much do I have it? I feel that much the effect of fire. Do you see what I mean? Make it, turn it into abstract form. Because when the Quran says Christians, when the Quran says Jews, okay, there were not many Christians at all in the area that the Prophet lived, really. although people say there were some Christians, well, maybe some people might have heard of Christianity in Habeshistan or something like that, in Ethiopia. But otherwise, no one was really practicing Christianity in Mecca and Medina. There were no Christian community, nobody. So we should be careful. The Quran is talking about, for example, Jews. Jews means then another tribe. No. It means what makes a person a Jew, that the Quran is talking about it. What makes a person a Jew? What makes a person a Christian? Right? That is, the Quran is talking about it. What makes a person an unbeliever? What makes a person an unbeliever? The idea of unbelief. So Quran is talking about this. This blazing fire is the result of unbelief. Do you understand? Is the result of unbelief. So unbelief in itself includes the blazing fire. Get it? In itself. So the hell is where? Hell is in
the lack of belief.
Unbelief. Yeah, it means lack of belief. If I don't develop myself, let's say 10%, there is hell there. But it doesn't mean that when I go, I will be taken into hell. That is different. Going into there, that is the matter of there, not here. So we have to be aware that if anything disturbs me, it is because of the lack of strength or awareness, consciousness, satisfaction of in my belief. So I have to work on it. It means it is a sign calling me there.
Is it fair to say then that our existence is always existing in these two states where it's feeling that blazing fire, which it's trying to, I guess, satisfy, as well as whatever it has satisfied in the past, quote unquote, like you're in that state of non-hell or paradise.
What do you mean in the past? I don't follow.
Okay, so let's say I've developed myself 50% out of infinite, pretty much. And then
let's say
right?
in our competence,
yeah.
as much as I am aware of it,
right.
but it is 50% is a huge number.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, but it doesn't mean that 5% is enough. Don't worry.
Good to be optimistic.
Don't worry. If I have 5%, I will be really very happy. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say I'm at 5%. And,
okay. Inshallah. Okay.
And even then, you want me to use the word inshallah? Okay. So let's say I'm at 5%.
Yeah.
And I'm aiming for more. So more in this example, at least can be considered as blazing fire. It's the lack of what I can confirm, what I can believe, right? So, but in this state, at that stage, I'm 5% in non-hell state. If we want to use the word paradise, we can. But whatever there is more the blazing fire is always going to essentially be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
so okay.
No one can be 100% satisfied.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think so. But I keep repeating this example. Even the Prophet completed his perfection after 23 years of education. He is the best chosen one, as far as the narration says. Can you imagine? How many years? The Noah, in the example of the Quran, which is, don't take it literally, Noah preached his people 950 years. Success was, didn't include his wife, didn't include his child, son. Can you imagine? It's quite normal. It means he completed his mission in 950 years. Doesn't mean literally 950 years. What can you imagine? The Quran speaks in a funny way. It says 1,000 years less 50. Just a little bit is left. Before the perfection, a little bit is left. Perfection, his life. A little bit is left, and he succeeded almost nothing. A handful of people around him. It means not 950 years to reach the perfection. Took him a long time, but still didn't complete it. That's what I understand from 1,000. The Quran doesn't say 950 years. Quran says 1,000 years. It means years means what? What does it mean? It's a measure of time. Whatever the criterion you have, you can say 950 or 1,000. Let's talk about 1,000. 1,000 years, 1,000 centuries, 1,000 days, 1,000 hours, depending on your measurement. You see, a period of time which will be perfect, but still less. Still a little bit less. No one can reach the perfection in his mission. That's what we should understand, how we should understand the Quran. It means I cannot be perfect at all. That's so simple.
Okay, so before we went for prayers, you said something, and I don't remember word by word, so I don't want to misquote you, but you said something that perfectionism or reaching a state of perfection is kind of against or is the enemy of something like that. Can you elaborate why?
Claim the perfection so that I will be, I won't be satisfied unless I am a perfect man. And then you always aim at to be on the last floor, if you like, let's say 100 floors building. And then you say, I'm not there, so I'm not good enough. I'm not there, so I'm not good enough. You don't start the first floor, the second floor, the third floor. So I have to see myself where I am here. I am on the ground floor, all right? That's quite normal. So I have to take one step towards the first floor, not the 100th floor. That's why the perfection is enemy of human being, because it makes them fall into complete despair. When you look at the building, wrong way to walk up, man. But if you look at the first step that you can take, you say, no, I can do that. Yeah. When you do the first step, when you take the first step, another step comes in front of you. Yeah, I can do this as well. I can do this as well. And then you say, don't say that I am where I am now. I am on the 10th floor or 11th floor. It doesn't matter. Look at the step in front of you. That's why perfectionism is the enemy of human perfection.
How much of that perfectionism, I guess this might be just a different way of understanding it. Like, if I'm availing every opportunity that I'm getting in the best manner possible, then do I not have the right to claim that I performed or I existed in the best state possible, as opposed to saying that I have reached my best state?
Right. I'm created in the best yeah. Right. But I have to try to utilize myself at the best level. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, it sounds a little, it's a little more ego-centered when you talk about perfection. So when you look at like the 100 stories, it's your ego that wants to get up there right away. And I think if you remove the ego a little bit from it, you're fine with the path of going from the ground floor to the first floor to the second floor. And I think when you remove the ego from it, it kind of helps you be present and where you're, okay, I've come 2 stories up and I'm excited to go to the third, rather than focusing on the 100.
No, so the problem is, how am I going to take the ego? What is ego? It's a big problem. So the more we realize our createdness in every sense, the whole body is created, the universe is created, my nose is created, my eye is created, My feeling is created, my taste is created, my day is created, my moment is created, any air molecule is created. The level of realization of the createdness moves or removes the ego. Ego means claiming that, for example, God created me, but I'm successful. Now, you see, createdness in success is ignored. So the more we realize that we are created, the better we move the whatever we mean by ego. Because it is a very nice word, but what does it mean? How can I move the ego? Ego, go away, man. I don't want you. It's not a jacket or a jumper or a sweater. They will take it away. So we have to use a word which is practical for me, not a term that in the culture it is commonly used, but we don't know. Like one of them is ego. Well, I'm not saying that you said something, but I have to emphasize on that the ego means just opposite of or not being aware of one is created at various levels. But we can make it. We can question everything. We can question everything. So when you even said move your hand, how did I move it? How did I move it? Now, so my muscles, my joints, and whatever the system is there, everything made perfectly. Who made it? It's a conscious action. So it is a grace of God. So with the grace of God, I am moving my hand. How can you be not thankful? It is impossible. So it depends on the degrees. I don't mind, but but somebody wanted, I've seen in hand. I don't remember who was it. Was you?
Yes.
Yeah, not anymore. Okay. 15, verse 15 says, none shall be cast to it but the most wretched one. Ashqa, the most wretched one. What we said here, kufr itself is the most wretched one. Unbelief itself is the most wretched one. So try to avoid from it at endless levels, Try to avoid more and more and more. Because no one is going to be really able to purify his spirit, his ruh, as it was given to him. That, for example, everybody knows that in the family, baby is created so innocent, simple, so perfect. When he or she reaches 16 years old, 15 years old, what happens? Family is in trouble. That is the product of family. Baby was perfect, man. He was, the baby was given to you in the perfect way. What happened to it? What have you done to it? So we are spoiling ourselves. We have to go back to our original form. Original form is babyhood. Can you be like a baby? You can. By realization, I am totally dependent on my Creator. Baby is totally dependent on his or her Creator. Yeah? She cannot, or she or he cannot really order anybody, provide anything, right? Totally dependent. Now, the baby in the physical world, although in reality depends on the Creator. Creator provides stuff. Mama is there, daddy is there, grandpa, grandma are all there for its service. Who employs them? Who employs them to serve the baby? The baby itself? It's God provides them. The Creator provides them. If you realize that your father doesn't have to take you, your state doesn't have to take care of you, Your mother doesn't have to prepare everything for you. Your father doesn't have to pay for you. And no one doesn't have to provide the air for you, the water for you, the food for you, the health for you. But no one. But we are always a baby. Realization is important. But the verse is speaking now. I want to go back and close the session today. The verse says the most wretched one, Shaki. Shaki means really the one who opposes whatever is true, let's say. Looks for an excuse to deny it, looks for an excuse to reject it. For example, whatever. What the example is. Everything. For example, let's say he's given orange. He says, I bought it. I paid for it. I paid for it. Yeah. It is the result of my labor. For example, somebody is preparing the homework or his assignment. He said, I worked for it for 2 days and I wrote this paper, claims that I did it. Shaki or Eshka is the most Shaki. so it denies God's grace, I mean, the most one. Those are the people who are going to be thrown into blazing fire in the hereafter. That's what God says. But we have to put it into our practical life while we are here. Yeah, I think we should stop. It is too late. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Inshallah, we will stop here. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. See you inshallah next